Our next guest was born in China, raised in Canada, and now exists in a universe called Marvel. He is the star and hero of the new MCU movie, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. It opens in theaters September 3rd. Please welcome Simu Liu. Wait a minute.
So exciting.
This is your first talk show appearance ever?
You know, Sean, okay.
All right,
it depends on what you mean by first.
Well, I was going to say, if it's your first time, I'll go slow.
It's, I would like you to be gentle regardless, but about 4 years ago when I'd just arrived to LA from Canada, it was my first pilot season. I was on a show called Taken. It was based on Taken, the movie, and I was asked to be on, I was 15 on the call sheet. I was a glorified extra. I was asked to be on Noches con Platanito.
I know it so well.
Which is a Spanish language talk show that films out of Burbank with the host is a clown. He's dressed in clown makeup.
Welcome home.
And I was like, I made it, but I take back what I said. I've made it now in this moment because I'm here with you.
Sure. Yeah. You know I'm not Jimmy, right?
I know that.
Oh, okay, great. So, but that's very sweet of you to say. So wait, this film, you're the star of a Marvel movie. This is crazy.
It's nuts, right?
Isn't that amazing? And so, it's a giant win for the Asian community, yes? I mean,
A lot of Asian people here today. That's good.
Yeah.
It's very encouraging. Always. Yes.
And you were the star of your first ever premiere on Monday, right? Next door?
Yes.
And it premiered next door?
Literally next door at the
El Capitan. Who'd you bring?
I brought, I brought a big group. It was my first one. I brought some of my high school friends from Toronto, some of my friends in LA, and you know, everybody was so wonderful and so sweet and encouraging. And then I brought my parents.
Yeah. That's very sweet.
And they were parents. Yeah.
Yeah. They must have been proud of you, yeah?
Yes, they were. They were. They were piling on anxiety at every single possible opportunity they could.
Yeah.
From the moment I put on my outfit and I walked out and everybody, we were all at this, big house that I had rented and everyone was, so effusive. They were like, oh my God, you look wonderful. That's what you're supposed to do, by the way. If you don't look great, you're supposed to lie.
Right.
And my mom takes one look at me and she's just like, And I'm like, don't you like it? She's like, I'd worn this beautiful chain that had been lent to me by a wonderful jeweler by the name of Ben Baller. And she was like, but do you have to? It makes you look like a gangster. I don't know,
That's a gangster.
You don't look like a wholesome, superhero figure. And I was just like, Mom, I'm trying to, can I please go to my premiere?
Yeah, and now, what did you grow up, what was your job before being a super famous Marvel person?
So I had many jobs. I mean, I went to school for finance and accounting at the University of Western Ontario.
Yeah. Accounting.
I've never...
For all the accountants in the audience.
I've actually never heard anybody applaud being an accountant before. That's a totally...
I think it's great.
Congratulations, you love your job. You're one of 3 accountants who love their job. Yes. I'm happy for you. I wasn't, and when I made the decision to try this acting thing out, obviously I had to struggle for a little bit. And I took on a number of side jobs.
Yeah.
Joe jobs, if you will.
Yeah.
And one of them, actually kind of superhero related, was I was a dress-up Spider-Man for kids' birthday parties.
Oh, God. Yeah.
So I did that for one summer. Yeah.
Just
thank you.
As a
Literally
prep,
clap at anything. That's wonderful.
As a prep for this role, sure.
Yeah, it was the same thing. Yeah, I'd roll up to these a 6-year-old parties and I would basically just get physically assaulted by them for an hour. Because nobody ever believed that I was the real Spider-Man. I worked for a company that was a little stingy. And I feel like if you had gotten a movie quality suit and you showed up, some kids might actually, but I had more Walmart Like less
Yeah,
Marvel,
yeah.
more Walmart.
Yeah,
And,
right next to the Mike Myers Halloween costume, right?
Exactly. You know, like the 1960s Spider-Man meme
Yeah.
where they're like pointing at each other?
Yeah.
It was like that. And so I showed up like that, and none of the kids knew what that Spider-Man even was because they didn't watch the cartoons, they just watched the movies. And so it was terrible. It was terrible.
But tell me about your parents, because I think your story is really incredible. That your whole family's from China.
Yes.
And then your parents moved to America or Toronto to become aerospace. What?
Aerospace engineers, yes. So they did their post-grad studies at Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario.
That's crazy. Both of them.
Both of them, yes.
Yeah.
They're very, very intelligent people, and they have no idea what happened to me.
And but why aren't they? They must be so proud of you now. I mean, right? Or they still are like, hey, what's going on with the accounting thing? Yeah.
They are. They're very. It took them a while to get there. Let's just say that. You know,
Yeah.
they like to. You know, I'm sure they're taking credit for all of it with all of their friends and stuff. But I remember I was in the car. We were turning onto Hollywood Boulevard for the first time, and they were with me, and it was just such an incredible moment because the whole street had been cordoned off and it was all red carpet and there was hundreds of fans that were waiting outside for us. Just such an incredible moment, and my parents were like caught up in it, and I was like, you didn't want me to do this, right? Like you know that, right?
Yeah, take that.
And I love the mental gymnastics that my parents have done and continue to do because my dad turns to me and he's like, what we did made you stronger. And what we did was we made you truly fight for what you wanted. So you're welcome, basically.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Wait, I think the way you went about, I don't know if this is true or not, but the way you went about getting the role for Shang-Chi is it started with tweets or something, or is that really true?
Yeah.
So like anybody can get a part in a Marvel movie if you just start tweeting?
If only it were that easy, right? I mean, the tweet resurfaced after I got cast, and it does really feel like I'm Nostradamus or something because it's really just like when the movie was first announced, I tweeted to my 17 followers or whatever, hey, are we gonna talk or what, Marvel? Like, as if somebody like Kevin Feige was like on his phone being like, yes, Simu, that's you.
Yeah. Kevin Feige is the director, yeah?
Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel.
Yeah, the president of Marvel.
MCU man,
sorry.
yeah.
I know nothing. So, I'm like Mickey Mouse, the president of Disney, yeah. Wait, so that started, okay, so keep going.
So, I mean, it makes sense connecting the dots going backward, but that's obviously not how it happened. I mean, I sent the tweet out, I forgot about it, nobody ever read it, and then 6 months later, I auditioned for it.
Didn't you have to do like a Goodwill Hunting?
I did, yes.
Something from, like a speech from that or something?
Well, so when you audition for Marvel, they're so secretive about all of the scripts and everything, so the first audition that I did, we didn't know the character name, didn't know the project, it was just 2 scenes from Goodwill Hunting, which was one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
But which was good and bad because I knew all the scenes, I knew the characters, but I also knew exactly the way that the lines were delivered.
Yeah.
So I remember very clearly. I sent in 2 scenes of me doing Goodwill Hunting, but me doing Matt Damon from Goodwill Hunting
with the accent,
with the full Bostonian accent.
Yeah.
You've seen Goodwill Hunting?
Of course.
So I mean, the scene with him and Minnie Driver on the racetrack where he's talking about his brothers, right? He's like, but Marty, Ricky, Bobby, Joey, Jerry, like. But how do you not do that in a Bostonian accent? Like,
and so
Marty, Ricky, Bobby.
Could you imagine if Shang-Chi spoke like that?
Yeah. I got my 10 rings, Ma.
That's hilarious. Hey, well, you had to go through tons of training too, right? To do all the kicks and the fighting and everything. I mean you've never done that before?
I mean, I had done backflips in my backyard and almost broken my neck numerous times. That was the kind of extent of my martial arts stunt training. I'd done a couple of stunt jobs in Toronto, but I mean, this was like the real deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah,
like endless hours of just training and shooting and like.
We did the whole thing and the stretching that was by far the most painful. The stretching.
Just stretching?
Oh my God, yeah. That's how I learned very quickly. That's how you tell a real martial artist from a fake one. Is by the stretching, by how flexible they are. Because if you don't, you could be the strongest guy in the world, but if you don't stretch and you don't have that flexibility, your kick will you're never gonna be able to get that leg up there, you gotta go,
Yeah.
You saw the split kick in the trailer, that took, that took some time and hurt.
Yeah, that is
days
crazy.
after.
We have an awesome clip from the movie that shows a little bit of what you're talking about.
Man.
Take a look at this.
You okay?
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Clev coming at you live on the bus. I actually did take a little bit of martial arts as a youth, so I'm gonna try and grade this fight as we're going.
That's amazing. That is amazing. That's incredible.
You can almost feel it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that I want to feel it, but yeah. Thank you for being here. I'm not Nostradamus, but I think it's gonna be a gigantic hit. I'm pretty sure. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is in theaters September 3rd. We'll be right back with music from Yola.